What is going on, everybody? And this is going to be my review for Unraveled. Now, I did already make a first impressions video on this game, and I did touch on a lot of the basics of this game in that video. And I did just finish the game about, I would say, an hour and a half ago. And I remember saying to myself, as soon as I finished the game, that I need to review this game. If for any other reason, just to spread the word about this game and how truly unique and a one-of-a-kind experience that this game is. So, if I happen to repeat anything that I already said in that previous video, in this video here, then I apologize. So, when I say one-of-a-kind experience, I mean it. This game is a one-of-a-kind experience that you are not going to get in many other games out there on the market. Now, when you hear that, you're probably thinking to yourself that that might be kind of weird. Because when you first look at Unraveled, you see your basic 2D puzzle platforming game just with physics using yarn. And you know what? You would be right in that regard, that the gameplay of this game isn't really unique. It doesn't really set the world on fire. It's nothing really innovative. But what is different and innovative about this game is that this game will basically conjure up so many different emotions from you that you would probably never would have thought a game would ever do to you. Now, when you're playing through Unraveled, you'll notice that there is no dialogue whatsoever in the game. There is not one single word that is spoken at any point during this game. There's not even subtitles in this game. In fact, the only part of this game that has any written dialogue is in the scrapbook that is in the hub world of this game. That is the only time there's ever anything written in this game. Now, when you're probably hearing that, you're wondering, well, then where's the story? What's the plot? What are their characters? What is your motivation to want to play through this game? The motivation is basically told through the music in the game and Yarny's facial expressions. Now, when you probably look at Yarny, you're probably wondering, facial expressions? He doesn't even have a mouth. So how can he have facial expressions? If you look closely at Yarny's face, you'll see that he has eyes. And the eyes change depending on what situation Yarny is in. When you're going through the snow levels, you can see Yarny shiver. And when you see that, you feel really sad. You feel really bad that Yarny is in that situation. And I don't know about you, but that motivated me and made me want to complete the level just to get Yarny out of that horrible, horrible situation. And I can tell you firsthand, being in snow like that is a pretty horrible situation because snow is evil. But it's not just that. There are many other situations like that in this game, because this game's environment changes throughout each level. And that's actually one of the things I really love about this game and have always loved about every 2D platformer that I have ever played. The fact that the environment throughout the levels changes. Like 1 minute you're playing in the woods during springtime. The next level, you're at a sunny beach during the summer. Then you're going through the snow. Then you're going through rocky mountains. And you're going through dark woods. This game has great variety in its level design and structure. And the graphics in this game are wonderful. They are some of the best graphics I have seen in any game. And I truly mean that. Coldwood Studios did a tremendous job putting so much detail in this game. Like, when you're playing through the level, if you just look at the background, you can see different things happening. Like, you could see the foreground, you could see deer running through the background. There's just so much stuff going on. I remember sometimes I literally just sat there and I was just looking at the game and just looking at all the detail that was put into this game, and it is tremendous. Now, granted, they had a lot of time to work on stuff like that because, they didn't have to worry about voice acting. So, maybe that should be the way to go for some other games in the future. Because this seemed to really work for this game. It really did. Now, this game is also challenging. It is extremely challenging in parts. And I love that it brings some of that old school challenge back in today's gaming. Because I grew up in the NES Super Nintendo era, and a lot of games back then were very hard. Because that's how games were designed back then, because developers didn't really know any other way to develop a game because they were coming from the arcade era. Or at least before a lot of the home consoles. Anyway, I loved that I was challenged in a lot of places in this game. Now, sure, some of it can be frustrating. I'll admit, I got frustrated a lot of times, but that's all part of the challenge. And then it'll feel really good and really satisfying once you complete that challenge. Now, as for the puzzles in this game, some of them are pretty basic, and you'll figure it out, but there are actually some pretty good stumpers in this game, I have to admit. And a lot of times, I was really tempted to look up the solution online. But I stuck with it, because I wanted to complete this game on my own to get the full experience of this game. And, I think I did that. And that is why I can honestly say that this game is a one-of-a-kind experience. And this is a must-buy. And I highly suggest, if you have the $19.99, please buy this game immediately. I don't say often that games are worth their full retail price, but this game definitely is. So, alright, that's about it. If you've played Unravel, please let me know what your thoughts on the game is. And let me know what you thought of this review as well. So, until next time, have a good one.